Well, good morning, everyone. Let's see here. I think we've got it all up and running. Here we go. All right, let's see here. We'll see if we can get the guys loaded up. Where's everybody at today? Say good morning if you have the ability to. Oh, let's see here. Hold on, everybody. Trying to find. Don't see him yet. Let's hear. Oh boy, where are you at, Alex? Boy, I don't see anybody in here. Bear with me here, everybody. We're trying to get everybody loaded up here. Oh, let's see here. All right. Well, I don't know where he is yet, so I am going to. Let's see here. Well, let's say good morning to some people here. Donna Fox is here. Good morning, Donna. Sheila is here. Good morning, Tammy C54. Mark Matson, good morning. DC, good morning. Cindy Hayden is here. Good morning. Just like Beth, good morning. Tina, what do you mean I never say your name? Tina Kelly from Indiana. You know, sometimes the chat moves so quickly that it's hard for me to see everything, so I apologize. Let's see. Hokey Gigi's here. Wendy's here. Friday. Good morning, Lisa Maria. Mary Louise Brown. Mama Bear is here. Good morning, Daddy D. Marianne Thompson. Excuse me. Let's see. We have. Oh, wait a minute. There's Alex, I think. Hold on, everybody. Trying to get Alex in here. Here we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. JP Metal. Good morning. JP Metal Slayer's here. PJ Party. Peggy's here. Oh, and let's see. Tina Kelly said, I'm here every day. Well, I'm glad to see you're here every day, Tina. My apologies if I see your name. As I said, it moves so quickly. It's hard to keep up sometimes, especially at my age. So we have Gen X Holtz is here. Martin's WB is here. Magic.
The age, sir.
What's that?
There's blaming of the age.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I have a good excuse. How are you this morning, Alex?
My camera appears dumb fuzzy.
What's that?
This morning?
I'm good. We're just getting going here. Let's see. Hey, James. Good morning. Oh, maybe he's not in yet.
Morning,
Dave,
guys.
are you there?
Morning, guys. Oh yeah.
Hey, good morning, Dave. How goes the?
Beautiful. Got some good rain this morning, and crops are loving it.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. All righty. Let's see here. Medview's here. Good morning, Medview. James, are you there yet? It doesn't look. I think he's on the panel, right?
I'm here. Poor signal.
Oh, there you are. Good morning, James.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you.
We can hear you. Good morning. Hey, Mama Soprano made it. Good morning, Mama Soprano. All right. Oh, Sherry from East Tennessee. So, all right, guys, what are we seeing? What are we hearing? What's the latest this morning? Other than once we get into your different expertise, anything this morning?
I mean, yeah, there is, but we just jump into it because it's going to come to the surface anyway.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, Alex, why don't you lead us off?
Okay, S&P 500 is slightly down to 59.43. The Dow Industrial 30 is down 120 to 42,667. NASDAQ is down 65 to 19,001. Gold, however, is up $7.50 to $32.81 an ounce. Crypto world, let's hear. Oh, I'm sorry, oil. Let's look at oil right now, sitting at $2.24 a barrel, down. Looking at the exchange for crypto. Got to sort by market cap real quick. 1 second. And the internet's being weird today. $105,445 Bitcoin. Currently, Ethereum is up to 24.89. XRP slightly down to $2.34. So kind of a mixed bag of tricks this morning.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it. Hey, but everybody, before I forget, so several of you have apparently emailed me, and some of you have said that I haven't responded. So I don't know why that is, but if you email me, and it was this about the detox the other day, send me a message on whatever platform you're on. Let me know that you're emailing me so I can look in my junk folder, because I don't typically look at that. There's hundreds a day that come in. So if for some reason you emailed me and I did not respond, it was because I didn't. So I want to make sure that that's clear with everybody. I do my best to respond. So if you did email me, did not respond, send me a message on whatever platform you're on. Let me know that you're going to email me, and I'll keep an eye out. All right, to get that out there. I'm married to Bob's here. Good morning. I'm married to Bob. Boy, thank you for all the gifts, everybody, this morning. Fantastic. All right, let's see here. James, what do we got going on the military?
Well, it's a pretty good day. There's a lot going on, actually. So the VA is in trouble again. They shifted $340 million in budget savings to outside healthcare accounts without lawmaker approval. So that's kind of a black eye for the VA again. Being on that same subject, the VA disability claim backlogs are down 200,000 since COVID, and they were at 4,000. So they're cleaning up. We're in the neighborhood about 50,000 accounts a year, which to me seems a little bit slow.
Yeah.
On a brighter note, military pay raises for next year. President Trump is for a 3.8% pay raise for 2026. And interestingly enough, the UK, United Kingdom, France, and Canada condemn Israeli military ops in Gaza, citing the basic food allowed is not appropriate, and Israel military expansions are creating an unnecessary human suffering. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think the U.S. is going to start dropping more food, but we have taken that. And there is one thing that I kind of want to say, since this is carrying. Did I have out here?
All right, audio's back.
So sorry about that. The United States Postal Service has said they're coming out with the 250th anniversary stamps for Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. So if you want to support these three military branches of service in the United Postal Service, you can do your deed.
Excellent. Thank you, James. Dave, what do we
Yes,
got going in farming and agriculture?
Looking pretty good. Corn prices are up a little bit today, 4 or 5 cents. Beans are getting some good weather throughout the Midwest, and a lot up in Minnesota the way it looks. Corn and bean prices up in the 60s and 70s. So
Excellent.
very good.
Thank you, Dave. Hey,
Yep.
Christine Thomas 403 just subscribed. Good, Christine. Thank you for subscribing. Also, too, I want to make another announcement. When it comes to subscriptions on TikTok, when you subscribe for 1 month, it will drop off after that month. You have to go back in and resubscribe. And as Alex and I have been threatening for some time, we're going to be putting together sub-only lives, and they'll probably launch next week. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And if you were subscribed and it fell off, resubscribe, because they'd love to have you part of this. All righty, we have let's see here. We have Tanya Moonsheimer's here, and Toby Bixby, and Jeffrey's here this morning. Good morning, Jeffrey. All right, so let's see here. Let's jump into.
Before you do, interesting thing just came across the wire. Senior official floats criminal charges for Jill Biden's elder abuse.
I saw that this morning. Oh my gosh. I don't know. You know, that whole rat hole with the cancer diagnosis and it not being out in the mainstream, and all of a sudden now it's a big deal after the HER files. You know, I hope that we see justice for the nefarious people in our government and they don't allow them to just go away without any real substantive justice. But what do you think, Alex? What do you think we're going to see there?
Well, I mean, there was a particular re-truth this weekend about all roads leading somewhere into, and re-truth that if you are in favor of military tribunals, and I find that very interesting. I'm still rolling against high, folks. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Dave, what do you think?
Well, I tell you what, each day I'm excited to wake up and see what happened or what's going to happen here. So
Right.
We got a lot of exciting news coming down the road. I know. Otherwise, I don't think none of those key players would be saying much, but they're sure opening a can of worms, for sure. So We'll see what happens.
James?
Well, you know, it's just exactly what Dave said, you know, and I know this one particular military general you're probably going to be speaking of based on the Daily Dispatch this morning. I'm, you know, sharpening my claws for, but, you know, there's a lot of things that have happened. And I do believe that the medicine for this entire, I guess, restructuring is quiet until the storm, and I think we're going to get into that with a certain general here in a little while.
Right. In fact, you know what? Let's go right into that one, James. We have retired 4-star Navy Admiral Robert P. Burke, age 60, has been found guilty on federal charges, including bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, acts affecting a personal financial, and concealment of material facts. Now, James, I'm going to go to you first, but I just want to say I heard nothing about this. All of a sudden, boom, it's there, which what leads credence to what's going on behind the scenes. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that we're not aware of, and then boom, it hits. What are your thoughts, James?
Well, I can explain what happened. When you get to a general officer level, I think the humility of the United States government, something protected like that, they're not going to drag the guy's name through the mud until actually dirt, and they actually prosecute. And I think that's probably owe the general officers of the military that credence, if you will. We're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt until they actually do get cuffed and prosecuted. The cuff and stuff part, you know, that's probably not really very important. You know, I know about the cuff and stuff thing, but you know, we can explain that another day. Yeah, that's a crash and burn.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think they're going to protect. I think they're going to protect the military officers until we see the actual conviction. Their name, in case they are innocent, they don't get drugged through.
Well, I think not only with the military, but if it is that we're looking at with a lot of these people, we're not going to hear about it until it's done. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Right.
What kind of bird don't fly? Anyway. I'm so glad you brought it up. James, brother. All right. So, you know, somebody.
Dave, you don't have to add to it either.
Talk about the general. I have a really good friend that's CID, which is the equivalent of the Army's FBI, we'll say, and have had at-length conversations with him about many things, and 100% what James like. You're not going to know until the door has already been closed behind them, and I think that as we move forward and more accountability is come the pipe, we're going to see that more and more. It's going to be, oh, guess what? This door closed behind this person on this cell. This door closed person on this cell. And apparently, according to Dan Bongino, Epstein did, in fact, unalive himself.
Yeah, and I don't know. That just doesn't sit right. But maybe I'm too married to that narrative, and I need to open my mind. I don't know. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's how it's going to go. They're going to be, because they're not going to want the press prior to that. So it's going to be brought up after the fact. Right. Plain and simple.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Donna Fox, thank you for all the gifts. It's really sweet. Mama Bear said, it's getting better. Oh, isn't that the truth, Mama? Isn't that the truth? Hey, Benji 1959 made it. Good morning, Ben. You could make it. All right, let's hear. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat are saying, no, he didn't do what people said he was doing. But I know, unless it's being said for a different reason, who knows? At this point, there's no way to tell. So, according to MAGA Voice over on X, Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill constitute ban capital gains taxes in Texas. Now, capital gains, wouldn't that be a federal tax? And if it is, because somebody mentioned this on one of the comments, saying, well, if it's a federal tax, how can a state ban it? And I thought that was a really good question. Alex, what do you think?
Well, the power of the states, for one. I'm kind of trying to make sense of this one as well, because I don't believe that a governor has power to make a constitutional change, that it needs to go through their legislative bodies, and I'm not real sure. I think it's interesting. I think it's great information. I think it's great that DeSantis in Florida is talking about capital gains and property taxes, and maybe this is just them bringing a spotlight onto things that are coming down the pipe. I don't know yet. I'm not a constitutional scholar for every single state constitution and all that. I think it's great news if this comes to fruition. Hell yeah.
Well, you're right. He can't make but it did. It was a bill, so it did go through their state legislature, I would assume.
And we're off to the races. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. James, what are your thoughts on it?
110% on state. If it's a state legislation, it's statewide. It's not federally. There is a different tax form for, like in my case, Minnesota versus federal. So you have to report both ways. If you don't get hit statewide, you're going to get hit federally.
Right. I was going to make a poor choice there and joke, but I'm not going to say
Don't
it.
do it.
So Exactly. Hey, King Garcia 08 just subscribed. Hey, Kathleen.
This thing that's by me is not a jail. This is not a courthouse. That is the United States. You know what that is.
The White House. Yeah.
I know, James. We may have to let you go from the show.
Well, I think that most of us would be disqualified as that was the criteria. JP Metal Slayer said they have Epstein. It can't make it public. I would tend to agree, JP Metal Slayer. I think that a lot of this is under lock and key. Everything has been, not everything. A lot of things have been suppressed before it gets out into the public sphere. But I think you could be right. Absolutely. Let's see here. All right. Excuse me. Let me move on here. All righty. We have House Chairman James Comer and a senator from Iowa are talking about the Department of Defense using their credit cards at casinos, bars, and nightclubs. How many times have we heard President Trump or Elon Musk talk about eliminating fraud and waste? And it's a perfect example of that. Alex, what are your thoughts on it?
That kind of waste, fraud, and abuse, maybe we should have all had a good time working for the government.
Exactly.
Look, this goes back to we now have and have previously in his last administration, we have a businessman in office. And this is one of the first times in the American history that it's not a politician, it's a businessman. You need receipts. You need to know where payments are going, where they're coming from, what they're for, labels. This is business 101. I can't just hand a credit card and not track spending, who's spending where, what, doing. You'll be out of business. And quite frankly, based off of our current deficit and debt, we're this being out of business. So bring on the receipts, the accountability, the spending controls, and understanding where money's going, it just makes sense.
Exactly.
But I mean, if you know that nobody's tracking it, why doesn't want to not at the casino, huh, James?
Right. Look at him look away. Go ahead and respond to that one.
I'm going to leave that portion of it alone. I get it. It was free. It was free up to a point. Just understand that.
Yeah.
So I was training in 1979, and back then, if you caught bringing a U.S. Steelcraft pen that said United States government home, and they wanted to push an issue, they could get you for theft of government property.
Wow.
When you're talking about any U.S. military taking a credit card and abusing it, to have that latitude, for one, is kind of preposterous, in my opinion. And for them to have the gall to actually do it and think it's okay. You know, the U.S. government doesn't have a expense account for those type in the everyday soldier. People that have an expense account military are those that are in acquisition. Acquisition are for a vendor. If they need to go buy some nuts and bolts to make the military mission happen, they'll do that. But just for everyday expenses like bars and nightclubs and taxis and whatever, the job, that's okay. But anything outside of business, and obviously drinking is not part of the U.S. government.
Exactly.
So, they're not too far, and Doge is, going to uncover that for sure.
Right. The key word you said is preposterous, folks.
Yeah.
Preposterous.
Exactly. Teresa Faria, contractors. Good morning, Teresa. Jeffrey, Tammy C. and R. Young, thank you for all the gifts. And Wendy J. D. Good morning. Hey, Scratch 65 made it. Haven't seen you in a while, Scratch. Hope all is well. Christy B. from Hayesville, Kansas is here. That was kind of my little Kansas accent there, just in case you guys are wondering.
Kansas doesn't have an accent. Kansas doesn't have an accent.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I thought it did, but I guess not. All right, let's talk about RFK Jr. and targeting dyes and other chemicals allowed for use in food, right? He's zeroing in, as we discussed briefly yesterday, on glyphosate, which is the Roundup weed killer. And he said it's an environmental toxin that's contributing to chronic disease here in America. Alex?
I mean, they're paying out tens of millions of dollars, probably because there's something wrong there.
Exactly.
$10 billion they paid out.
Oh, billion. I'm sorry. I knew Dave was going to correct me. How does it end up affecting the crops and the ability to farm, Dave?
Well, it's interesting because it's obviously there's Roundup has gotten some tolerance on some weeds that like water hemp and stuff for us. It doesn't touch. That stuff just drinks it. But it's still a very useful product on the farm. It's an additive that goes along with 2,4-D, and it's an additive that a lot of burn down, a lot of that stuff. And if we ever get Pat Miletich on, he'll explain this and what's happening and ways. All these products are oil-based, all petroleum-based products. So dealing oil on it, no different than our or anything else.
Right. Dave, if it's possible, maybe you could reach out to Pat right now and have him come on today.
Would be. I'll text him and see what he
says. See, jump on. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
James, any thoughts on that?
Snake oil. And, it's a very useful tool. But like Dave was leading to, there are that are becoming resistant to it. The problem is that company is for sale, which is Bayer, and they're never going to be able to sell a company that has billions and billions, in ongoing lawsuit. Nobody's going to want to buy it. I know they've talked about it, but take billions and set aside I don't care how healthy a company is, they're not going to be able to sustain that kind of damage. So they're going to probably hit that, or trying to do away with the product altogether.
Right.
Not only do we have GMO crops that use it, that RFK Jr. is saying that GMO does. When you're adding chemical to to fight or combat weeds, so that plant can grow to its fullest extent, it's the combination of the two makes its product.
Exactly. All right, let's see here. Franny Dragon for all the gifts, and B Gold, really sweet of you. Benji 1959 said it's in everything we eat. See, that's part of the change. Is when it comes to GMOs in general, you have what's called bioaccumulation, and essentially the pesticides into the seeds of the GMOs bioaccumulate. In other words, they build up in your body. Now, they want you to believe that these pesticides will do away with critters and keep them from eating the plants, but it doesn't affect human beings. Well, I disagree. I've read reports 30 years ago talking about GMOs where they do bioaccumulate. Now, does that a dead end where you're screwed? There's nothing you can do about it? No, you can't. You have to detox your liver. And I do a liver detox once or twice a year anyway, as you know, my personal taking care of myself. But having those chemicals, not only in our plants, also in our soil, is a big deal. Were you able to get a him, Dave?
I just texted.
Okay.
Well, and coincidentally, Sam, it's not just the plants and the corn or the grains that come from it. You have to think about the animals they eat to grow and that we use, and whether it be chickens, pigs, or cattle, or anything of the pork. Everything constrains. There are very few animals that are grass-fed, and if they are, they're sold organically.
Right.
And I think I've told the story before, observations on the farm. When I was a kid, I'd go in, my buddy would go in, clean out the gates, and we'd go in and kill the mice, you know. We switched to GMO corn, and I went in, there's no mice. Like, it was...
Because they won't eat it.
Difference. One or two, correct. And then in 4, 5, 6 years, here come the mice again. You know why? Because they have adapted and overcame on that too. So I visually see that. Plain and simple.
Yeah, exactly. It's common sense. LSE03 just subscribed. Wonderful. Welcome, LSE, for the gifts. It's appreciated. All right, so let's see here. I guess I don't think we're going to, let's see. Teresa Faria Contractor said, I'm testing lettuce heads in my fridge 2 months now, and the damn things have not rotted. You know, it doesn't surprise me. And, you know, there's been a lot of discourse on, let's say, McDonald's food. And people put the McDonald's food out on, outside, and they wait to see if any critters will eat it. Alex, you're shaking your head. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, my children are 28 to 22 years of age, my oldest children. And I remember their pediatrician's office who delivered them. That's how long we took them to the same doctor's office. And from day one, sitting on the reception, when you walk through the door, underneath a piece of plexiglass is a Happy Meal.
Wow.
And of course, everybody's like, so what's with the Happy Meal, Doc? I mean, you look at it, it fries, the bun, the burger, the cheese, everything looks exactly the way it did the day he put the lid over the top of it. And his response to it is, if mold won't eat it, I'm not going to eat it.
Right, exactly. Full Mental Jacket said GMO equals fake. Fake and toxic. Full Mental, I agree.
Well, interestingly enough, you can take up like margarine, for instance, and go put it on the ground, and typically ants won't eat it. And if an ant won't eat it, a human shouldn't eat it.
Right.
Butter.
100%. So
No butter.
there's a lot of people in the chat asking about what liver detox is. So the liver detox I use is called Liver Pure. Okay. It's a company that makes it is called Youngevity. My brother, Dr. Mike, God rest his soul, created a company called True to Life years ago. True to Life wound up being purchased by Youngevity, and SamShalhoub.com. Go to Get Your Supplements Here, the button. It'll take you to their website. The name of the product is called Liver Pure. I've used for years. And there's a whole protocol that goes with it. So get the supplements. It'll walk you through exactly what you need to do, the time that you need to do to accomplish this liver detox. And as I said, it's super important, in my opinion, to detox your liver at least once or twice a year. All right, let's see here. Hopefully that works. Again, go to .com, click on the Get Your Supplements button. And if you have any troubles, just send me a message and I'll walk you through it.
Real quick, Sam, before we do sponsor halfway through, Lee is in the comments. Lee, if you would post something as a comment. Lee had her main account with 30, I don't remember how many thousands.
I think she had like 70,000 or something. I don't know.
Something crazy. Anyway, out of nowhere, the magical gods of Buy It on the Talk Shop opted to ban her. So that would explain for everyone why Lee has not joined us. I just ask if you guys enjoy the show and the content that Lee provides to us. If Lee can put it in, I think American Honey 17. If we can all support her by following her again, so we get her back up here to have more conversations. We miss her presence with us.
Yeah,
and I do have an update about Adam too, our missing soldier. Adam had a misfortune tonight and had a lower back injury to the point where he can hardly walk.
Oh no!
I talked to him this morning. He sounded miserable.
Oh
so
no!
Yeah, it's not a good deal for him. So he's going to seek medical aid today.
Okay.
He's been trying to fight it, but he said there's nothing in his missing cabinet that will even touch what he's got.
Wow. Well, Adam, our thoughts and prayers are with you, and everybody please say a prayer for Adam as well. And then back to
and that app still is available. If Lee wants to use my second farming situation, she can come up on that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So once again, it's American Beauty 17.
American Honey 17.
American Honey 17. If maybe somebody could put that in the chat. Yeah, everybody who's on this everybody who what's that? Yeah, exactly. Everybody who's on this live, please go over to Lee's, give her a follow. We want her back on as soon as possible, so that would be appreciated. Teresa, a contractor, said terrible, very, very painful, need a chiropractor. Right. My brother, Dr. Mike, was a chiropractor, and I've been getting adjustments since I was 16 years old, 17 years old. Okay, yeah. Lisa Maria, thank you for putting that in the chat. So it's American Honey 17, all one word. We're going to give her a follow, please. PJ Party's here. Peggy, welcome, PJ. Sarah Catherine. All right, so the next story. Oh, wait, let's do sponsors. That's right. My apologies. Okay. As everybody knows, Mike Lindell has sponsored me from the beginning. He's a good man. He's got an American company. I would highly suggest everyone supports him. Go to MyPillow or go to mystore.com and use the discount code SAM. You'll get up to 80% off of all your purchases. And he's doing a special right now where you can get any of his Giza sheets. Giza, guys, I don't know how you pronounce it, for $49.98. Any size, any color. So go to mypillow.com, get your sheets. Let's all help Mike. He's a good man. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic, the only toxic-free, chemical-free hair care that I'm aware of in the country. Go to neilnaturopathic.com. Use the discount code SAM20, that's SAM20, and you get 20% off. And lastly, Dr. Peter Glidden. He is a naturopathic doctor. He's been in clinical practice for 35 years. If you go to samshalhoub.com, there's two buttons for him. One that'll take you to his website. The second that'll if you use the code SAM, you'll get 10% off his new book. And it's like an encyclopedia. I would encourage everyone to take a look at that. And then let's talk a little bit about cybersecurity, Alex.
Number one, your company is your employees. If you are not training your staff on the pitfalls of cybersecurity annually and regularly, you are opening yourself to huge liabilities. RiskToolTech.com. It's a per user per month fee for training. We can set up 100 to 10,000 employees. We can do 12 months worth of training in probably 10 to 15 minutes. Have it and forget it. RiskToolTech.com. Month of May, if you refer someone to us and they sign up, I will get the first month of their contract to you as a thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Hey, so everybody in the chat, I see a lot of people saying that they're following at Lee Daniel. Not correct. It is.
It's correct. So when at American Honey 17 is her actual TikTok account, but what she's had display, like mine is different. Like you can change what your displayed name is. So she's displaying Lee Daniels, but her actual account, if you go look for it, is at American Honey 17.
Okay.
So if she types in the comments, you'll see it says Lee Daniel. So that's correct. If she types again, if you click on her profile, you'll see Lee Daniel, but underneath it'll say at American Honey 17.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Alex. I wasn't sure. I want to make sure that we get as many people over as we can. Okay. All righty. Let's see here. Everybody's correcting me. No, Sam, it's correct. It's right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Thank goodness Alex saved the day. Mr. Tech.
She saw it. Click that, and it will take you to my profile. Buy it on the TikTok shop.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, good. All right, good. All righty. So let's move over. We have Democrat Maryland Governor Wes Moore has just vetoed a bill that would have advanced reparations for blacks. Now, here in California, there's some bill that they're trying to propose. It's like a $2 or $3 trillion reparations bill. It's mind blowing to me that people are even considering this. Are they just making it so crazy that most people are going to question? I don't know. Dave, what do you think?
It sure sounds like it. That's the direction to go. I mean, it's so out of ordinary.
Right.
Like what you said.
Exactly. James?
We just seem to be able to print the money, Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, we're struggling to get it brought back. We're struggling to not put it out there, and all of a sudden, a $3 trillion bill. I mean, come on.
Right. Exactly. Alex?
Common sense. That's all I'm going to say. Common sense.
And Trump's not going to stand for that.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of trying to cut that.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
I agree. I don't think there's any hope of it passing, but I just don't understand people's train of thought when it comes to that. And that's just my personal opinion.
Along these same lines, the problem is take their recess, and the military spending bill needs to be figured out before they do that, and they're nowhere close to where they need to be. So on holiday, in my opinion, I think until they get it done, and then they can go on their little holiday vacay.
100%. 100%. We had yesterday CBS News CEO Wendy McMahon. How many CEOs does that make step down, you guys? That's a significant deal. But Dave, go ahead. You're shaking your head. Let me say.
I'm just saying, we've talked about that in the past. There must be something going on.
Right. Absolutely.
They say, I think they're getting an alternative. You got to do this, or this is what.
Right. Exactly.
So,
Alex?
I mean, see you, bye.
Yeah, exactly. Texas Mimi said, oh, sorry, what's that?
Just because the CEO steps down doesn't make him immune to the law.
100%. I agree. 100%. We had Billy Rowe 35 said it's just another slush fund. Donna Fox said she's agreed. Texas Mimi says recess again and again and again. Very true. Benji 1959 said, if you know, you know. Isn't that the truth, Benji? All right. And James's little laugh there. I love it. All right. Here's a big one, you guys. Zero Hedge yesterday came out with an article saying the Texas House okayed a bill to vaccine makers for false ads. Now, my opinion, fraud vitiates everything. So once it's exposed, I don't care if it's vaccines, I don't care what it is, it removes any protections that they had. Based on what I understand. Alex, what do you think?
I think you're right about fraud. I think it's a growing narrative. There are leading the charge to hold these companies accountable for the harm that, and as the great Sam Shalhoub says, I, for one, am all for it.
And I'll certainly keep an eye on it. For sure. Yeah, Dave?
It makes you wonder if it's set up that they're trying to stick their foot in the door to open up the can, to get the ball.
Right.
I mean, look at Arkansas, look at Missouri, so it seems the case.
Right. James?
Well, and then go ahead, Alex.
In what messed up universe can you just nilly-willy throw there and not be liable?
Is that a technical term, willy-nilly? James, go ahead.
Well, in the immediate portion of this, they said that there is no way that we were going to be able to. This was an emergency act. This was something to take place. They didn't test it. They just put it out there and said, look, you cannot do. And all of us now they're saying, oh, yeah, we can. And we are gonna, because it turned out to be a bad drug. I didn't mean to say that. It turned out to be a bad vaccine. And somebody's going to have to answer for it. And I think if we, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and I think if they squeak loud enough, I think we're going to get it. We're going to get it rammed through.
Right. Hey, Choose Your Poison 54 is here. I haven't seen you in a while. Choose Your Poison. Glad you can make it. Chris Romano heralding back to the last article. They shouldn't get paid while they're on vacation talking about Congress. So I agree. I think that there's got to be some serious reforms, one of which I think should be term limits across the board. Right?
This quite big, beautiful bill would be better if term limits was included.
Exactly. 100%.
That would help slow down the corruption.
100%. Hey, Tam at the ranch made it. Hey, Tam, glad you can make it. Barbie's here. Barbie, where have you been, young lady? We have not seen you in a while. Glad you're here. Donna Fox agrees. All right, so let's move on to Zero Hedge yesterday. GM is urging Senate to kill California's 2035 EV rule. Now, from an ecosystem standpoint, let's say electric cars were a better choice. Let's say that we had some alternative form of energy. Let's say that we have to burn petroleum products to generate electricity. How long, and let's put the Army Corps of Engineers on it. Let's say we put every major corporation we could muster to create an ecosystem that would match or become rival we have with gas stations today. How long would that take? 10 years? 20 years? I mean, if we threw all the resources we could at it, it doesn't make sense. Alex, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, California's got a fixing blackout problem.
Exactly.
Charging all these cars that are going to replace. Come on.
Right.
Yes. Environmentally friendly, free choice. If you want that car, that's great. That's great. There's great benefits. Look, the drone-powered air taxi. That's cool stuff. But to force it on the people, and when the science behind what we're being told since I don't know, I was a kid. Oh, the Great Ice Age, because of aerosols, there's holes in the ozone, and then it's global warming, and then the seas rise. But the same people that are telling you the seas are going to rise are buying ocean property. Make it make sense.
Exactly. Dave?
I forgot about acid rain. Yeah. And now it's the fog. The fog is going to kill us.
And now Antarctica's adding ice. It's adding ice down there. Well, Biden spent $7.5 billion on his for vehicle chargers, and built 7 of them, I believe, is all he built.
7 of them, right?
Yep. And if they don't get it changed. Buick is coming out with a new model called Blackout. So
I think 5 of the 7 that he built were at the end of dirt mud roads where people get to anyway. So
Right. Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me, James.
They were built on the other side of the bridge that goes nowhere. But we're having some big issues with this. Not only do we spend billions of dollars with an infrastructure, they passed dozens of laws that said, this is in every state. They, like in Minnesota, they no outdoor lawn care equipment that was gas powered. It had to be. Not only do you have all this infrastructure put in place, think about the size of the holes in the earth. That when you go to create a lithium mine, I mean, you're going down a long ways. They are changing the core temperature of the earth. Mother Nature doesn't like that. Volcanoes and big tremors that you feel out there, and these earthquakes that are basically felt nationwide. They just had one in Tennessee the other day. When you're tapping 5 in the middle of the country, I don't know. It's getting kind of shaky. Things are getting kind of weird about it. But it should be, like you said, fossil fuel. We got plenty of it. We know.
Right. And we can make it. I mean, these coal plants that they're building are so clean. I mean, it just doesn't make sense otherwise. That transition now, not with the Enron egg or Tesla energy or anti-rabidic technology or 0 point energy, then it may be a whole different story. But at this point, I don't know. Seems like we're chasing our tail there. All right, so let's move over to the Supreme Court. Sided with President Trump, allowing the removal of the, quote, protected status from 300,000 Venezuelan migrants. And surprise, surprise, who was the only dissenting justice? Ketanji Brown. James?
Oh, this is a formal president. There you go. That's great. Well, we have a big problem. We can't arrest and detain, but all of a sudden 300,000 can't. I mean, there's a bunch of wishy-washy going on. I mean, this is worse than a Maytag wash machine. I mean, what they're doing, some things get through, some things don't. One day John Roberts is the heathen, and so is half of the. And when you have Clarence Thomas going after John Roberts about something, then all of a sudden they bring up, and it's not a problem the next day. What gives?
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. 65 said a victory for President Trump. Very true. Alex?
That's all I got.
Oh, okay, Dave.
Yeah, it's and like that. It's wishy-washy. I mean, you would think they their job is to interpret the Constitution.
Right. You're kind of muffled, Dave.
Is it muffled?
Yeah. Can you? Where's your little thing at?
Oh, it died.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
What was that?
I'll reset.
Okay.
Sounds like you're talking through a pillow.
Yeah, that's all right.
Or a big steel door.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, let's move on. JP Morgan is going to allow clients to buy Bitcoin. Now, we're going to dig into this one a little bit here. Alex, you know where I stand when it comes to Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies. For JP Morgan to come out, and I think isn't Chase the largest bank, or is it Bank of America still?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, one of the top 5. Sure.
Right. That has got to be a significant move for JP to come out and say, okay, we're going to let our clients buy Bitcoin. Do you see that as a precipice of what they've been calling, or they've been expecting, a God candle? What are your thoughts on it, Alex?
It's still so, for those of us that have been in it for a while, just hear me out. It's still so new. When you talk about, I think probably less than 1% of the population actually physically are invested the crypto market, it's still very, very, very early. But the story goes, and we've talked about this before, others have said it, but it's so true. First they get, right? It's bad, it's used for nefarious purposes, it's a scam, it's that, it's this, it's that. That was the beginning. And for the first 10 years, that's all you heard about it. And then, well, oh crap, like it's coming on like a freaking freight train. We got to get ahead of this. So now we're going to sue it. We're going to legislate it. We're going to go after them. We're going to hammer them. We're going to tie them up in lawsuit, legal fees, and the SEC and FCC and blah, 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 blah. And now, folks, we have adoption. Let's go.
Right. Right. James?
Well, you think about the first to the moon, or somebody that tries to get to the moon. Fear of loss is coming. When you have countries like Saudi Arabia coming to the table saying, hey, we see this, we want all in, and ISO 20022 compliancy for every bank in the country, not just the biggest, they're for sure saying, look, we don't want to be left out here. We're going to start taking it. I mean, there's car dealers that are accepting Bitcoin. If you say, hey, I'll send you out of my wallet this much money, and it takes away from your bit, this is just a practice for what's coming on. You're going to be able to take your card, and you're going to be able to pay for everything. Everything's going to be tokenized.
It's funny.
They don't want to be. They don't want to be left up, behind.
It's funny you say that. So a friend of mine who initially got me into Bitcoin years ago, he's been doing it for some time, and he's me buy it and hold it. Right. Well, he's a big motorcycle fan, and he likes those Ducati motorcycles. And this is about maybe, I don't know, a year or two ago. So I call him, we're talking, just getting caught up, and he said that he went to a Ducati dealership in Beverly Hills, and he was looking at the new Ducatis, and he was just fantasizing about buying his new motorcycle, and just kind of off the cuff, he says to the salesperson, with Bitcoin, I'd buy this right now. The salesman walks away, brings the owner of the dealership out, and the owner says, oh, you have Bitcoin? I'll take it right now. Next thing you know, my friend is driving away on his new Ducati from a dealership that he bought with Bitcoin. And he goes, Sam, I'm feeling a little guilty. He goes, but I haven't spent any of my profits in the last 3 years, and I just decided to go ahead and get. And sure enough, they took it. So I think, as Alex said, we're moving into that adoption phase. Alex?
If he feels real guilty, I mean, he could send a Ducati to Kansas if it made him feel better.
Exactly. But
it's not a get rich quick scam. And we hear stories all the time about people buying Lamborghinis and they hit it rich and they hit it big. And James and I've had at-length conversations. Sam and I've had at-length conversations. It's the 2013 is when Bitcoin hit $100. If we fast forward to 2014, it's up to $500. 2015 kind of dipped back down. Everybody's like, oh, it's not going to last. It's not going to go anywhere. Well, 2016, it's back up to $500-600. Then we get into, the December of 2017. Holy crap, it just hit $20,000, and then it dipped back down. Oh no, it's never going to go down at 3,000, and it rolled there through 18, 19, and then all of a sudden 2020, 2021, it peaks at $55,000. Today we're sitting at right now? $105,000 for one coin. You don't have to buy a whole coin. You have $100, put that $100 in. You put that $100 in 12 years ago, that $100 bill would be worth $105,000. There's not a single other asset on the planet that performs like that. And again, only one, not advice, do what you want. I'm just saying my own personal opinions and what I've chosen to do. I'm not telling anybody else what to do, but reality check. 1% of the population of this country is getting involved. In the course of the last 5-6 months, you are hearing government after government after government saying, we're going to buy in. They're buying in. They've bought in. We're going to do this as a strategic reserve. This is just the beginning. Don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on this. Contact Sam if you don't know how to get in. He'll walk you through it. If you don't want to contact Sam and you don't want to do that, go do your research. Go find an exchange. Don't keep it on Teams, just my personal opinion, but it's a great way for you to get started. Just get started.
Right. Exactly. 100%. All right, everybody. So that we have for today. We are going to move to final thoughts. Let's see. Dave, why don't you kick us off on final thoughts?
All right, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Today, Trump is at the Capitol this morning. That's going to be interesting. At 3, he'll be making an announcement with the Secretary of Defense, so that'll be fun to see at 3 o'clock today. I appreciate everybody being here, and we'll see what this afternoon and the rest gives us.
Exactly. James? Oh, did we lose James?
Well, we
James, you're spotty at best.
Here, hold on. Let me fix this.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Welcome to Technical Tuesday.
yeah, exactly. Well, I guess we lost James there because his picture's frozen as well. Why don't you move on to final thoughts?
I'm just gonna step in for James's final thoughts of the day.
This ought to be good.
and pray for better cell phone service. My final thoughts for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not hit 75,000 taps on the screen. So there'll be no dance today. Here's the deal. Love, highest frequency. Light, good for your skin, creates vitamin D inside your body. Get out, get some sunshine, take your socks and shoes off, put them in the dirt, whatever you got to do, but get out outside, enjoy the weather. We were dodging to yesterday. My pool is officially open. The water is crystal clear and blue. The skies are sunny. I'm out.
Excellent. Everybody at home, thank you for being here. As you know, it's so important to take care of yourself and take care of that you love. So I hope everybody has a great day. We will be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and we may jump on a live with President 3 o'clock. We'll see how that plays out for everybody. So James, Dave, Alex, if you are available and we decide to do it, I'll send a text out. And everybody, remember, the best is yet to come. So everybody have a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow, if not at 3 o'clock today. Have a good day, everybody. Oh, yeah.